Your forecast first with Chief Meteorologist Lisa Teachman, sponsored by the Accident Recovery Team.
A severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect for Sedgwick County until 10:30 tonight. Hail up to the size of tennis balls. Possibility with this storm. We've already seen that in portions of May so far tonight. Winds between 60 and 70 miles per hour. Plus, this storm has also been showing some signs of rotation. There have been a few storm spotters out there noticing some funnels that have been popping from this storm from time to time. It is currently making a beeline straight to the south-southeast. So folks over toward the Goddard area, be prepared for this. The leading edge of this also moving through the Hayesville area. In addition to Derby, hail, damaging winds will be our primary concerns with these storms. And we can definitely see what is happening with these storms. Lots of lightning, heavy amounts of rainfall, in addition to the hail and also the damaging winds that will be moving through Sedgwick County within the next 30 to 45 minutes. These storms, they will move out by midnight. I am expecting quieter but hotter conditions tomorrow with a high up to 100. We'll take you through radar and show you where all these storms are headed to next and what you can expect with these storms in your Storm Tracker 3 forecast. Your news starts now.
We are tracking breaking news at this hour. Tornadoes touched down in parts of Kansas, leaving behind a lot of damage. The town hardest hit tonight, Eureka, in Greenwood County. Emergency manager there says the town took a direct hit. The tornado touched down just after 7 o'clock. As you look at some of the photos from the town, KSN's Tiffany Lane joins us live now in Eureka with a look at the damage. Tiffany?
Jeff, such significant damage that we can see all throughout town right now. Now, this is just one of the neighborhoods that was hit, and the reason you have difficulty seeing right now is because the whole street is without power. Now, take a look at this. This steel piece right here, this actually came from a block over from one of the businesses across the street. That is how bad this was. It shot through these trees, all falling down over here. You can see, take a look at this home right here in this neighborhood. I want to be careful because there are a lot of limbs down here, but you can see this door has just completely flown open. The screen has come off, trees everywhere. But what we're hearing from the neighbors in this street that I spoke with is that thankfully everyone in this neighborhood that I've talked to, they're saying that they're okay, but some of the scary things that they're saying is that they just saw it coming through. Some of them actually saw it go through the street, and they're saying they went to the basement as quickly as possible. But here is some sound from some of those neighbors we spoke to.
10 started flying, siding from houses, the limbs, the tree, you know. It was bad. I've not seen it that bad.
And then next thing I know, I heard the wind and we hit the basement. We just got to the bottom step of the basement when all this hit. So we didn't even know this was coming in. But it definitely done its damage across town.
Now, that last resident you just heard from, that is Lawrence. He told me he's lived here for 47 years, and he said he's never went to the basement before, even after the last tornado that hit through town. But seeing the damage out here, you can tell why. Thankfully, again, he said that he is okay. The other residents here we spoke with are okay, but we have been hearing ambulances go throughout town. We haven't been able to confirm if there have been any injuries yet, but hopefully there aren't any. But there's just so many crews going down this street here in this neighborhood. You can't even come from Highway 54. You cannot drive through here. We actually have people who are coming from outside of town that are actually here just to move the debris from the roadways for cars to be able to come through. But we'll be staying out here to provide you guys more updates. Make sure to stay away from any down power lines because they are not safe at this point. But I want to toss it to Emily right now with more information out here in Eureka.
That's right, Tiffany, you mentioned Highway 54 closed down. Now, we're right outside. We're across the street from that. Take a look. These are the police units that are not allowing anyone but emergency crews into the town of Eureka. They say right now it's too dangerous and they need to work on that debris. Now, and I want to take a look here. Now, we're just across the road at the Orchlands. A lot of damage here as well. Down here at the bottom, you can see this is siding from the building. I'm going to have my photographer shoot up a little bit here. That you can see there's a massive hole in the side of this building, and it's down here on the ground. And we are talking a lot of insulation as well. This parking lot is full of debris. Okay, so see
We are several feet away and there's debris here. It scatters all throughout. Now it's dark obviously because we don't have power. We have seen multiple power crews come through here. We've heard ambulances. We've seen multiple troopers and other police units that have been through this area. Again, we will try to keep you updated with whatever information we get. I did speak to a couple of employees here. They're all safe for now, and they're just working to assess the damage here, and we will continue to keep you updated. But for now, live outside Eureka, Emily Younger, KSN News 3.
All right, Governor Jeff Collier released a statement just a few moments ago. We want to share it with you. It says, quote, "We are monitoring the situation in Eureka closely after tonight's tornado. Our response team has been dispatched to the area, and the Red Cross is operating a shelter for displaced residents at the Methodist Church at 521 Main Street in Eureka. Please stay safe." Listen, I want to get back to Chief Meteorologist Lisa Teachman now, because, Lisa, it's still a very active night of weather out there as we speak.
Definitely is. I'm looking at the National Weather Service chat. We have this big monitor that allows us to communicate with them, and we have so many different National Weather Service offices that we follow. They provide us information and we provide them information that we see as well. And what you're looking at behind me, this is our Skyview network, and it just goes to show you how strong the winds are and the vivid lightning, not to mention the hail that is falling with this storm, and even the gusty winds between 60 and 70 miles per hour. And this storm here in Sedgwick County, while there is no tornado warning currently in effect, we have seen these storms. They have gone up, they've produced the hail, the damaging winds, the heavy amounts of rainfall, and like in Eureka, in a short period of time, a quick tornado could spin up. And the folks that have been monitoring the storm over on the west side of town, say over by the Goddard area, 135th and Maple, the west side of Wichita, they've been seeing some signs of some rotation where there's a wall cloud over there and even a funnel that has been trying to lower a little bit and then it goes back up. Nothing that has been confirmed of touching down, but it is definitely something that I am monitoring closely on Storm Tracker radar on the west sides of town. There it is in Goddard. You can see this storm extends now down toward the Derby area, reaching over toward Rose Hill. This severe thunderstorm warning will stay in effect until 10:30 for tonight, and it is namely for the hail threat. It's also for the damaging wind threat. But again, folks that are in the path of this storm, anywhere from Goddard, from the far southwestern sides of Sedgwick County down toward Clearwater, keep a close eye on it, because if a tornado does drop and a tornado warning comes in from the National Weather Service office, we will immediately pass that along to you. But it is into Hayesville right now in addition to Derby. Going to see those rains start to pick up over toward Rose Hill as well within the next 10 minutes. I want to show you rotation, and seeing as this storm right now is beginning to move over the Doppler radar site, which is located on the west side of town out by Eisenhower National Airport, also over by Cessna. Those of you that have driven on Tyler Road know what I'm talking about, that golf ball that sits on top of the tower. And as we see the storm start to move on top of it, that's the reason why you're not getting anything on top of it right here. But this is the part of the storm that I'm watching out for the rotation just to the north of Goddard. It's a little on the messy side. It is not what you would call a classic signature on Doppler radar. But if we change the mode of our Doppler radar here, this is going to be what we call our shear rate. And this is giving us that indication of where we are seeing that rotation, which is over toward the Goddard area. Again, no tornado warning in effect, but a severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect also for hail. This is the hail path that this storm has taken, and we have received some reports of some hail up to the size of tennis balls in Mays, and that will definitely trash your car and even trash your home too. This is a different mode on Doppler radar. This is our Barron button. This also lets us look at rotation for one, but it also lets us look at the hail threat. And in the pink here, that's going to be the hail threat. Looks like it is moving over toward Cessna, over toward the airport, the National Weather Service on the far southwest side of town, back toward Goddard. But here I'm seeing this little black dot, which is southwest of Andale and to the northeast of Cheney. That tells me that I'm starting to see that portion of the storm now begin to blossom and intensify, where the hail is probably going to be a little bit stronger on that portion of the storm as opposed to what I'm seeing from Goddard over toward Mays. So this storm is starting to build back toward the west. Needless to say, though, and there you go, the National Weather Service just picked up on that. A moment ago, we did not have a severe thunderstorm warning for that part of the county, but now we do have a new severe thunderstorm warning. This for western Sedgwick County stays in effect until 11:15. It will be for hail up to the size of tennis balls, also 70-mile-per-hour winds. As we get more information, we will definitely pass that along to you. Jeff, back over to you at the desk.
Lisa, thank you. Very difficult night for the folks in Eureka tonight, but you know what? This is not their first rodeo. In fact, this isn't the first time the town of Eureka has been hit by a tornado in recent years. I want to bring in KSN's Chris Arnold now. And Chris, You were there just 2 years ago when Eureka was hit by a tornado.
You know, that's right, Jeff. And actually, next month will make 2 years to the day that that EF2 tornado came roaring through the town of Eureka. And, you know, in all, about 150 structures were damaged in that storm. Now, here is some video from the aftermath of that storm. And, you know, that day, I spoke to Greenwood County Sheriff Heath Samuels, and he said some of the hardest hit areas included a large mill at one of the elevators that collapsed and a nursing home nearby in the town. Now, in all, about 200 volunteers that day came out to help people clear trees and even debris. Now, I actually toured one home that day that was demolished by the tornado, and I spoke with one of the residents. His name was Cade Knox, and he told me after the storm hit, he says him and his family, which was about 5 people, were trapped in their basement for about a half an hour, if you can believe that. Pretty scary right there. And, you know, he said it wasn't until someone came knocking on their door asking how many people were actually inside the home and if they were okay that Knox and his family were able to get out from under the damage and the debris. Now, we are told a lot of structures that were damaged in that storm, you know, were rebuilt over time. However, it is unknown right now if any of those structures or homes were damaged in this latest storm. Of course, that's something we won't know until our crews are able to really get in there when, you know, sunlight comes in, daylight, and we're able to get a closer look at all that damage. But, Jeff, you know, one thing that I did notice when I was there 2 years ago was just how resilient this town is. You know, you had volunteers coming in from all over, helping clear the trees, helping clear the debris, and really helping this town get back on their feet and helping them get back on their feet quickly.
Some good perspective there, and I want to reiterate some of the video we were just showing you. That was from 2 years ago. Tonight we're receiving pictures, some of the images coming out of Eureka, Chris. A lot of the damage looks eerily similar to the damage from 2 years ago. In fact, I spoke to a resident, Troy Fisher from Eureka. He told me about an hour ago, as he is there on the ground helping crews out, that a lot of the damage sustained tonight was in a similar place between 7th and Greenwood there in Eureka. That's on the north side of town, in addition to the damage they sustained on the west side of town. So some very good perspective there. Again, they did this 2 years ago, and they're going to be at it again. We're going to check in with our crews in Eureka here momentarily. But again, as we mentioned earlier, widespread event tonight. Parts of Kansas getting hit with severe weather, not just Eureka, not just Greenwood County. I want to show you some video now taken by one of our storm chasers with Severe Studios earlier tonight. This is near Douglas. That's in Butler County, just south of Augusta. Look at that. The emergency manager tells us power lines were knocked over near the high school there in Augusta. Another tornado touching down 6 miles southeast of Potwin tonight. That's just north of El Dorado. National Weather Service says it was a rope tornado, and it touched down briefly there just north of Potwin. I want to show you now a storm as seen from El Dorado. Active weather night in El Dorado tonight. Look at this, sent to us by Sean McKibben. Storms dumping large hail in the area, up to baseball-sized hail in El Dorado tonight. You can see the clouds here, some scary moments. This photo, again, this video here taken by one of our viewers. So far, though, no damage reported out of El Dorado tonight. Look at this. That is a hailstone that was sent to us, a picture there sent to us by one of our viewers. Sandy took this photo. That's near Derby tonight. Courtney took this one from Augusta Lake. That's looking toward El Dorado. And Joanne, she shot this picture from Rose Hill tonight. I want to show you a picture here sent to us from Mandy. And you can see there it captures, if you look closely, captures the lightning. There it is. That was from Rose Hill tonight. And I want to show you a picture here from what the storm looked like near Andale. We received well over 100 photos tonight at reported@ksn.com. If you have some photos of the storms, or if you can safely take a picture or some video, we would love to share it here on KSN. You can send it to us, again, at reported@ksn.com. I want to thank all of our viewers for sending those pictures. Look at this. A tornado touched down in the Kansas City area this afternoon. As you can see, it left behind widespread damage. National Weather Service says the EF0 tornado hit Lake Lotawana, damaging several boats, docks, and homes. Look at that. Trees, power lines toppled. This, again, near the Metro in Kansas City. Nearly 16,000 customers lost power because of this storm. Got a lot to cover tonight. Still to come here at 10. Obviously, we're going to go back out to Eureka for the tornado coverage, but we're going to briefly touch on some of the other news of the day. Emotional testimony from the man shot while doing his job as a tax agent back in September. Stay with us.
This is KSN News 3, here for you at 10.
Hurry into the Chrysler 4th of July sales event. Get an incredible deal on an incredible family vehicle. Well-qualified lessees of competitive vehicles get this low-mileage lease on the 2018 Pacifica. Incredibles 2 in theaters June 15th.
Kansas state-owned casinos generate billions of dollars in revenue. Their main source of that revenue? Slot machines. The Kansas Lottery website shows Kansas Star Casino produces more revenue than any other Kansas casino. Since 2012, Kansas Star Casino has generated over $1.1 billion in revenue. And where is all that money coming from? From you. Countless player reviews say the same thing: tight slots. So if tight slots are producing billions in revenue for the casino, what's left for you to win? But there is a casino that takes pride in having loose slots. A casino staking claim to better odds to win. 7 Clans First Council Casino. Looking for looser slots and higher payouts? It pays to cross the state line. If you're going to play, play to win. 7 Clans First Council Casino.
The 1950s was a time of progress in Wichita. For the Tades, it was when they built a business that would last for generations. Tade Plumbing and Heating built a reputation on exceptional quality and service and would later become Benjamin Franklin Plumbing. Wichita has changed a lot since 1950. What hasn't changed is the expert service people have come to expect from Benjamin Franklin Plumbing. When you call the punctual plumbers, you welcome a bit of history into your home.
I'm Dr. Jeff Drake with Advanced Health Concepts. I've been helping people lose weight and keep it off for years. My customized program guarantees you'll lose 20 to 40 pounds in 40 days. You see a difference when people lose weight, but what you can't see is how they feel. Our program improves energy, digestive issues, and can reduce medication. Are you exercising and eating less but not losing weight? It may be due to your hormones or your metabolism. Our technology can balance your hormones and reset your metabolism. Call today for your consultation and body composition analysis.
Hurry into the Chrysler 4th of July sales event. Get an incredible deal on an incredible family vehicle. Well-qualified lessees of competitive vehicles get this low-mileage lease on the 2018 Pacifica. Incredibles 2 in theaters June 15th.
Watch KSN's Anna Warnicki from Washington, D.C. on KSN News 3.
Welcome back. I want to get you back out to Eureka tonight. The town hit very hard by a tornado. Buildings damaged. Some structures have been leveled. KSN's Emily Younger. She is in Eureka right now. We'll go live to her as she is driving. I understand, Emily, you are driving through town.
We just drove into town. The trooper let us in, and we're getting our first glimpse of some of this damage. You can see here, this appears to be a building on its side. A lot of the siding there, lots of crews there working to figure out just how much damage was done and what's going on. And see there on the ground, that's part of another tree, part of the siding. Here's a crew here on scene. Lots of people here in the area, and if you go here, I know it's a little bit blurry, you can't see a whole lot, but a lot of flashing lights as we're driving into town in Eureka. Again, this is our first glimpse as Highway 54 is still closed off for the public as emergency crews work to figure out what has happened and to make sure that everyone is safe. And those blinking lights that you just saw, that was an ambulance there. Again, we are just going into town. Here's another ambulance, and here's the local Sonic. Everything without power, and we're seeing a lot of damage, a lot of tree limbs down, a lot of rescue crews out here doing what they can. Again, this is just a glimpse of what we're seeing as we're driving. Again, I am not driving. My photographer Raul is behind the wheel, and I am manning the camera as we're talking. Again, here it looks like Burke's Auto. That doesn't seem to have much damage to it, but again, as we creep up here, you can slightly see a major a tree on its limb. I know it's a little dark, so I apologize for that. We're going to keep making our way into town and talk with some people here and try to get an idea of what they're going through tonight. So for now, I'm going to toss it back to you, Jeff, in the studio.
All right, Emily, thank you. In other news today, the trial for the man accused of opening fire at a Wichita tax office began today. Ricky Wirths is charged with attempted first-degree murder for allegedly shooting tax agent Courtney Holloway in September. Today, Holloway took the stand. KSN's Emily Younger shares his emotional testimony in our continuing coverage tonight.
And I just prayed to God, and I said, Lord, please don't let me die.
in tears, visibly shaken.
I was shot there, shot in my left hip.
Tax agent Courtney Holloway describes the moment his life took a drastic turn.
I laid there, screaming for help. I said, somebody help me. Please help me, somebody help me.
It was September of 2017. The father of two had just served a tax warrant to this man, Ricky Wurz.
It ended by him shaking my hand and saying thank you for not taking all of my stuff.
A few hours later, that thank you would turn to gunfire.
I heard the gun. It was extremely loud. It's a sound I'll never forget.
Hit 5 times, Holloway says he dragged himself to safety. Police body camera footage capturing the moments his co-workers, EMS and fire crews worked to keep him alive. And once inside the ambulance,
you're good. You're very brave. Keep your breathing. Keep your breathing.
Holloway had one thing on his mind, his family. Then, moments later, an officer gives Holloway this news.
Courtney, I want you to know we just caught him. Okay? You don't have to worry about your family. He's in custody.
Not long after that, Holloway would be wheeled into the hospital. His life saved, but forever changed.
I still have 2 bullets in my body right now.
Emily Younger reporting there. Now, security changes have been made at the tax office. There are now armed officers there. As for the trial, prosecution says it has several more witnesses to call to the stand tomorrow. We are told it is likely that Worths will testify. We have followed Courtney Holloway's journey closely. Doctors calling him a miracle patient. While he says it's still difficult for him to walk and use his right hand, he thanks God every day that he survived. We're going to have a full story about Holloway's road to recovery on KSN.com. A man has been arrested accused of killing his girlfriend. This happened early this morning in the 1900 block of North Amadon in Wichita. Police say the man called 911, said he had hurt his 22-year-old girlfriend. When they arrived, they found the suspect armed with a knife and the woman dead from multiple stab wounds. According to jail records, Dylan Barber was arrested on suspicion of first-degree murder. He's being held on a $150,000 bond. Of course, we still continue to follow the events happening tonight in Eureka, Kansas, the small town in Greenwood County taking a direct hit from a tornado. We will take you back live to Eureka for the latest there. We'll also listen to Lisa as she gives us an update on the severe weather sweeping across the state at this very moment. Stay with us.
Tune into 105.3 The Buzz for weather updates throughout your day.
How do you become America's best-selling brand?
Want to see a trick?
You make it for those who need an extra hand. And a little heads up.
You okay, bud?
That's Ford, and that's how you become America's best-selling brand. Now get Escape with 0% financing for 72 months plus $1,000 military first responders appreciation cash for eligible buyers.
I take great pride in my lawn. My Hustler mower gives me the perfectly manicured cut I want, with the power, strength, and speed of a professional zero-turn. I quickly maneuver around obstacles with ease, allowing me to maneuver around life's most difficult obstacle: time. Hustler Turf. Quality tools designed to improve quality of life.
Get your Hustler mower at Countryside Motors in Wellington and S&D Equipment in Wichita.
My co-pilot turned around to me, desperation, bail out, bail out.
Throughout his years of service, Ernie Smith faced many hardships, from being shot out of the sky to being taken as a prisoner of war. Katie Taube shares how Ernie survived and the lessons he learned during his time serving our country. Join KSN News 3 in honoring our military heroes with the Devon James Injury Lawyer and KSN Veteran Salute. Wednesday at 10 on KSN News 3.
America's veterans kept a sacred trust, and we owe them our respect and honor. But Chris Kobach broke that trust. You see, Kobach spent years on the advisory board of what he calls a veterans charity. In fact, the Better Business Bureau said out of $1 million raised, less than $50,000 went toward veterans. The group was actually a scam, posing as a charity while promoting Chris Kobach. Call Kobach. Tell him scamming veterans for his own benefit is wrong.
To the lake! I'll do you one better. Let's take a payment vacation.
Huh?
This month at Lubers, enjoy a payment-free summer. It's easy. Pick your dream vehicle and send those payments on holiday for up to 90 days. Speaking of vacation, the owners are away, and you know what that means.
Time to restock the lot?
Yep. So we're going overboard on trade allowances. Top dollar on your old boat means we can get you unsunk, even if you owe more on your car than it's worth.
Hurry into Cheney today before the owners get back.
Lubers, the friendly way to buy.
Tonight, Fallon had Shaquille O'Neal blowing your mind.
Only 1 3-pointer? No way. Foul shots wasn't your thing, right? Yeah.
Plus, from World of Dance, Jenna Dewan. And Keith Urban performs. New Tonight Show.
If you've been hurt in a car wreck, call in the Bull. Call Brad.
Now, your KSN Storm Tracker 3 forecast.
Severe storms, especially over western Sedgwick County, continue to show signs of rotation. Several storm spotters, storm chasers, and even viewers. Yes, a lot of you folks have been emailing us pictures and videos of some funnel clouds on the west side of town over toward the Goddard area. Now, we do have 2 severe thunderstorm warnings in effect, one for the central and southern portions over toward the eastern half of Sedgwick County, but also the newer severe thunderstorm warning, which will be for southwestern Sedgwick County. So we do have these severe thunderstorm warnings that will stay in effect. This one until 10:30 tonight. This one for the southwestern part of the county until 11:15. Now, the severe thunderstorm warning that we previously had in effect for Butler County in the southern half of the county, that has now been allowed to expire because the storm has now weakened as it has been pushing down to the east-southeast. I want to take you here over toward Storm Tracker radar, zoomed in, closer look here at the severe thunderstorm that is moving through Sedgwick County, downtown Wichita, down toward Derby, Goddard, back toward Cheney, and in fact, this portion of the storm from Andale to Goddard over toward Cheney has my attention. That is the portion of the storm that will give us the largest hail, the heaviest of the rains. That is also where we are starting to see the rotation from a lot of crews out in the field. So as this continues to work down to the south, this is going to be for this portion of the storm. This severe thunderstorm warning that stays in effect until 10:30 may be expanded down to the south and extended into portions of Sumner County. This severe thunderstorm warning till 10:30 will be in Belle Plaine within the next 16 minutes. You folks can expect winds up to 60, 70 miles per hour and even some large hail, potentially up to the size of ping pong balls. I want to go back toward the western sides of the county, Goddard over toward Cheney. This will be working down to the south. Viola in 16 minutes. 40 minutes away over toward Conway Springs, and I've also seen some other signs of this starting to build back toward the west over toward Pretty Prairie, which means nature is not finished with us just yet. Closer look here, Goddard to Garden Plain down toward Cheney, heaviest of the rains here. We're also seeing some of the gustiest winds and potentially some circulations here that are now starting to shift down to the south. This is going to be the rotation on Doppler radar from just to the south of Goddard, also over toward Garden Plain. This will continue to work down to the south here as well. So folks, please, if you are living on the southwest side of town, also the southwestern portions of Sedgwick County, please keep an eye on this storm. Again, no tornado warning that is currently in effect, but a severe thunderstorm warning stays in effect until 11:15. And as I show you a different vantage point with rotation on Doppler radar, red, that's going to be the winds that are going away from the storm. Greens will be headed towards. So right about in here is where we're going to have some of the gustiest winds that will be approaching the Clearwater area. Also over toward Viola, may even see some of those winds extend over toward Norwich. So again, that's the rotation here, also where we are seeing some of the gustiest of the winds. Different vantage point on the Doppler radar scope of our severe threat. This is going to be the rain in the green. In the pinkish purplish colors, that's going to be the hail. And then anytime we see colors that start to pop up in the red to the deep red, that will be signs of rotation. And right near the Goddard area, that is where we have some of the largest hail associated with this storm. At one time, this storm did produce tennis ball size hail over toward the Mays area. I could see still potentially tennis balls out of this, even back toward Cheney, expecting some large hail, maybe even on the far southwest side over toward 235 here, 235, and also on K42. The hail could also be a threat there as well. This is the hail path that we have seen. Mays earlier had a report of tennis ball size hail, also reports of hail from Andale to Goddard, just to the east of the Cheney area. So this is what it looks like right now, friends, with our sky view as we're looking off to the northwest. Heavy amounts of rainfall, and considering this atmosphere is so tropical in nature, this could lead to some flash flooding. So those typical places areas like downtown Wichita, the west side over toward Meridian. Expect that there probably will be some areas that will be flooding here in the short term. Let's take a look at some of the other storms that we're monitoring in addition to what's going on in Sedgwick County. This was the previous severe thunderstorm warning that has now since expired in southern Butler County. It was supposed to be in effect until about 10:30. Of course, it is 10:29 right now. But there's the storm moving over toward Granola. It has weakened, but Granola, you can expect that there will be some heavy rains associated with that, with quite a bit of lightning. Farther to the north, moving into northern Butler County, as you can see here, these storms that are right around Peabody to Burns, these storms will continue to work down to the south, which means El Dorado to Rosalia. You folks are going to be picking up even more rainfall in addition to what you picked up earlier this evening. Farther to the east, Emporia to Olpe, just to the west of Madison. These storms are not severe, but they are definitely strong. We'll continue to keep an eye on them, but it definitely looks like they are starting to weaken there. And also some light rain is falling from Howard down towards Sedan. Nothing in Cedarville, although we did have some pretty gusty winds there earlier today with some storms that came through during the afternoon. Well, once these storms move out overnight, the heat builds in. And because of these storms dropping so much rainfall, that means we're going to continue to have this hot and humid atmosphere for the next several days. We do have a heat advisory that goes into effect tomorrow afternoon, stays in effect until 8 o'clock on Thursday from Wichita to Arc City up towards Salina and Concordia. These locations will easily see heat indices approaching 110. So please use your precautions to help keep you and your family safe. Keep them cool. Keep your pets cool as well. Bring them inside. Let them enjoy some of that air conditioning as well. Temperatures right now here in Wichita, it's 81. Temperatures are in the 70s the farther north you go, but that's going to be different as this warm front continues to lift to the north. And honestly, this warm front is the reason why we've been having so many concerns with those storms for today. That warm front is a place that tornadoes like to form. And also we had the storms earlier on, and as those storms moved out, they basically brought an outflow boundary in our direction, which has also been another focal point for additional storm and tornado development. Looking ahead to tomorrow, there is an isolated storm risk. Could see a couple of isolated storms develop in north central Kansas, also closer to the Kansas-Colorado state line, although the severe threat is not expected to be what we've been experiencing today across south central and southeastern Kansas. Tomorrow, temperatures will climb into the upper 90s and the lower 100s. 100 degrees here in Wichita, Garden City, Liberal up to 102, 100 in Hayes. Temperatures in northwest Kansas will be in the upper 90s. Your Wichita Weekly. When will storms return for us? Well, it definitely looks like Tuesday or Saturday night into Sunday morning, and then another round Sunday night into Monday as a frontal system starts to sag down to the south. That frontal system will eventually give us some cooler temperatures, but in the meantime, it definitely looks like it's going to keep us on the hot side in the short term. Temperatures tomorrow will be in the triple digits, 101 on Thursday, 99 going into Friday in north central Kansas. 102 tomorrow, 104. That's actually going to be one of the hot spots over the next few days. 3 days of triple-digit heat. Factor in the humidity and easily 110. In southwest Kansas, 102 tomorrow, 102 on Thursday. Over the weekend, dropping into the upper 80s on Sunday. 90s will return early next week. In northwest Kansas, upper 90s to the lower 100s for the rest of the work week. Isolated storm chances tomorrow evening, Thursday evening. Friday, you get a break, but over the weekend, I am expecting more storms to make a comeback.
All right, Lisa, thank you. A lot of new information has come out of Eureka just during your weather forecast, so I want to get our viewers caught up now on what we have learned just within the past few moments. According to officials there in Eureka, 5 injuries reported tonight. One of those injuries critical. Again, 5 injuries reported in Eureka tonight after that tornado swept through the town. One of those injuries critical. I want to get you live now to Eureka. Emily Younger standing by. And Emily, I believe you are with the fire chief in Eureka?
Oh, that's correct, Jeff. We just got briefed by workers here. I'm joined here by the fire chief of Eureka. You were explaining to us kind of what the town is going through right now. As far as rescue, talk to me about what is happening at this moment.
Right now we have the local fire department and the assistance of our neighbor fire departments that are mutual aiding with us, that are going street by street. We have each crew assigned to a street, and we're working those one by one through the area. We have approximately 12 blocks of streets to go, 12 different streets to go through, and they're each 7 to 8 blocks long in the damaged area. So each one of them has probably a half to 3/4 mile of street to cover. So it's taken a little bit of time for them to get through, but right now they're going through street by street, checking for damage and for any injuries.
And you say damage and injuries, and we were just told 5 injuries, 1 critical, correct?
Correct. We have 5 that have been transported with 1 critical so far.
Okay, and then talking about damage, I know it's dark out right now. It's hard to tell what exactly is damaged. What are your crews seeing that you're aware of it right now?
We're seeing a lot of damaged structures. We're seeing a lot of roofs that are torn up. We're seeing some totally lost garage and outbuildings. We've got some businesses that are totally lost their buildings. We have 2 or 3 large oil field and farm equipment businesses that we have reports that they're heavily damaged. We have reports that the high school is heavily damaged. So right now we're just trying to assess all of the damage, but we know we have a lot of residences that have a lot of damage, and we have a tremendous amount of tree damage and tree limbs all over the roads.
And you know, you mentioned to me earlier you're a resident here as well, so you've got damage. What is it like? Put the fire chief aside, just being a resident here, having gone through this 2 years ago, and now you're back at this spot again.
I think that the thing that's challenging us up front as far as the thought process is we know 2 years ago the long-term effect of it. We know that the tree and home damage that we're going to have to be dealing with it for 3 weeks to a month before we get our residents all with their properties cleaned up and the roofs back on their homes. And you know, it's been 2 years ago since the last one, and we have some homes that just finally got totally reconstructed from 2 years ago. Now, I don't know that those same homes have been damaged, but I do know that it takes a long time to get that reconstruction done, and the process of just the pure thought of knowing that this is a long-term ordeal and that we're going to have 2 to 3 weeks of just pure constant crews going through cleaning and fixing up houses and at least getting them sealed in so that they're weatherproof, and we know that, and that's kind of daunting when you realize it.
And it's daunting emotionally too. If you could describe, I mean, how you're feeling right now, how the town is feeling, how would you put that into words?
I know the one thing, just like in my case, I have a lot of tree damage. You know, we have some trees that are older than I am that now are laying in our yard, and you know, I'm fortunate I didn't have home damage, but I know just when you're thinking, you know, that's a part of what you've been living with for a while, and that's your tree that shades your porch, or you know, when you see that, you worry that's you know, those are gone, and right now, like I say, we have a lot of people that have got damaged homes and businesses, and that's our really big concern other than injuries.
Oh, very good. Last question here. What's next?
Right now, what's next is we're going to get the rescue crews through here tonight. Westar's here working with us and getting the power under control for us so that it's safe. And once we get the rescue crews through here tonight, I suspect, unless we have some really major damage as far as totally collapsed buildings, I suspect the rescue will be done by noon tomorrow, and then we'll be in a cleanup mode, which will be several days and then weeks.
I know you'll need volunteers, and we'll have all of that information on our website as soon as we get it. Again, thank you so much, Chief. We appreciate it. Now, Jeff, I'm going to send it back to you in the studio.
Tune in to KWLS Radio 107.9 for your KSN newscasts at 5, 6, and 10, Monday through Friday.
To all the brave individuals who look out for us, your Midwest Ford dealers are looking out for you. At the All-American Sales Event, save on the 2018 Ford F-150 with best-in-class towing and payload and powerful fuel-efficient engines. And for all military members and first responders, get an extra $1,000 appreciation cash. That's Ford, America's best-selling brand. Now get 0 for 66 plus $3,300 cash back on F-150. Plus, eligible buyers get $1,000 appreciation cash. Only at your Midwest Ford dealers.
Remember your first bike? No, your first real bike. So can you imagine the feeling you'll get from your first real truck? The GMC Sierra. Step up to GMC with nearly $14,000 total value on a specially equipped 2018 Sierra SLT Crew Cab model when you finance through GM Financial.
The pecan chicken salad sandwich is back with the same chicken, pecans, celery, and grapes as last time. Because Arby's likes tradition, and Arby's also likes change. Because there's this new sandwich with new ingredients like the zesty avocado spread you see here. Arby's is in the business of making change a tradition. Arby's, we have the meat.
Save up to 50% during the Cherry Orchard Furniture and Kids Corner Summer Clearance. Receive our low price guarantee, plus find savings up to 50% off clearance items store-wide. Ask about no credit check and no interest financing. Save every day at Cherry Orchard Furniture and Kids Corner.
Was your home recently hit by hail? Call Roden Roofing for a free inspection. We are your local GAF Master Elite Roofing Contractor, which means you will receive the best warranty in the business. Roden Roofing, 927-2233.
Please keep your shoes on. Stop messing with your sister. Hey, don't make me come back there.
So?
Feels really good. Yeah, I'm gonna buy it. Customer service that goes the extra mile. Enterprise makes it easy.
We continue to track breaking news at this hour. The town of Eureka has taken a direct hit from a tornado. 5 injuries reported so far, one of those in critical condition. Several structures have been damaged. Let's get you back out there live now. Tiffany Lane on the scene. Tiffany, what are you seeing?
Well, Jeff, this is a common scene throughout Eureka right now. We have massive trees down here. You can't even make it through specific roadways. Power is out. You can see all the homes here. You can't see any light. The only light that you see that's on me is a personal light we have. So that's why you can see the homes pitch black right now. And with all of the tree limbs down, it's a very dangerous situation. And what we've been noticing are neighbors out walking with flashlights, checking in on each other. I wanted to point out something that Chris had mentioned from last time he was here and back to today is one thing that we're seeing is just an overwhelming response of people working together through this difficult time, people checking in on each other, making sure everyone's okay. And I just point out how positive everyone has been, saying that the most important thing at this point is not the structures or anything like that. They just want everyone to be okay, and that's what we've noticed throughout here. So everyone is working together. Crews are out here. You can't really see very well over here, but that is a business that has a lot of damage, and I just want to go to that sound of some of the residents that I spoke to today.
When we had the tornado a couple years ago, they was on it. It'll happen again. You know, people will come together, neighbors will help neighbors, and strangers will help people, and it's a good feeling to know that people have your back.
Now, I know that Emily has been speaking with officials. I want to toss it back to her at this point.
Yeah, Tiffany, that's right. We were speaking with officials here in Greenwood County, Eureka as well. The fire chief confirming for us that there were 5 people injured, 1 critically. All of them have been taken to area hospitals. Also mentioned that rescue crews are still going block to block to make sure that people are safe and that they are out of their damaged homes, whether that be, stripped off roofs or tree limbs on the ground. And even right here outside the sheriff's office, I want you to take a look. You can see the roof right next door, or actually it appears this is the sheriff's office, is off. A lot of damage you can see there. And I mean, you just walk everywhere in this town and there's really nowhere that doesn't have damage, whether it's tree limbs down, whether it's siding off of a roof or off of a building. The fire chief said that this will take many, many hours just to assess the damage. Said it could be several days, several weeks before they really get an idea of just how bad it is here. But again, Tiffany, you mentioned people coming together. There's a spirit here. A lot of people talking about, hey, we got through this 2 years ago. It'll be tough, but we can definitely do it again. Out for now, live in Eureka, Emily Younger, KSN News 3.
Emily, thank you. Of course, we will continue to follow the developments tonight out of Eureka after, again, the town takes a direct hit from a tornado. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
It's the Ram 4th of July sales event. Get great deals on the dependable lineup of Ram trucks. Finance and get an average $15,232 in total values on the 2018 Ram 1500. Hurry to the Ram 4th of July sales event.
Wow, my 61st wedding anniversary. Of course, she's great by herself, but I'm much better when we're together. Just like seamless polymer siding and polymer windows, we're a perfect match. I'm going to celebrate by giving you a special discount with our Summer of Love sale. You can save on siding, you can save on windows, but for a short time only, we're going to let you save on both. The more you buy, the more you save. Call now.
It's the Ram 4th of July sales event. Get great deals on the dependable lineup of Ram trucks. Finance and get an average $15,232 in total values on the 2018 Ram 1500. Hurry to the Ram 4th of July sales event.
Watch KSN's Anna Warnicki from Washington, D.C. on KSN News 3.
At the Mattress Hub, we're bringing you the best brands at the guaranteed best price. Find instant savings on Serta, Beautyrest, Sealy, and more with summer hot buys as low as $2.99. Shop local and save big, only at the Mattress Hub.
I take great pride in my lawn. My Hustler mower gives me the perfectly manicured cut I want, with the power, strength, and speed of a professional zero turn. I quickly maneuver around obstacles with ease, allowing me to maneuver around life's most difficult obstacle: time. Hustler Turf. Quality tools designed to improve quality of life.
Get your Hustler more at Countryside Motors in Wellington and Kansas Golf and Turf in Wichita.
From the dusty backroads to the golden prairies, in small towns and bustling cities, sprouts some of the best homegrown businesses in Kansas. Let KSN introduce you to The Garage in West Wichita. Keep your dollars local with this KSN Kansas Best Business.
It's local, it's the latest, it's free. Download the KSN News app today.
The Royals had another chance for a winning streak tonight when they took on Milwaukee, and considering they've only had 5 of those this entire season, that's a pretty big deal. Let's get to some of the highlights. Kansas City on the road the rest this week. Jake Junis and company in Milwaukee tonight, and Junis has had some problems with giving up the long ball this season. Those problems continuing tonight in the first. Christian Yelich smacking a 2-run shot, 2-0 Milwaukee on top. And there's really not much to cheer for if you're a Royals fan tonight, but Adalberto Mondesi, one of the lone bright spots, hits a double in the third, and yes, that is how bad these highlights are that I'm showing you, just a normal double. But Mondesi not done in the 8th inning, continuing to perform, preventing Kansas City from being shut out with a solo shot to right center. Those were 2 of Kansas City's 3 hits in the game. The Royals lose 5-1. Former Wichita Northwest Grizzly Jared Gates and the Arkansas Razorbacks facing Oregon State for the College World Series title game 1 tonight. Gates with a hard line out to right, his first time up, but making solid contact with the ball. His second time up, runner on first, and Gates keeping things rolling for the Hogs. A chopper over the first baseman's head. He would later score on a wild pitch as Arkansas scores 4 times in the 5th inning to take a 4-1 lead. But Gates with his most impressive play on defense. Bottom of the 5th, the Beavers hit a foul ball to the first base side. Gates just lays out for that catch, totally giving up his body. What a grab. I guarantee you, you see that one on SportsCenter's top 10 plays tonight. Arkansas wins game 1 of the best of 3 series, 4-1 game 2 tomorrow evening. And the Wingnuts were going for their 4th straight win up in Canada, and after going up 9-1 early on, they hold on for the 9-8 win. They are back in action tomorrow before returning to Wichita Friday to face Sioux City. Kansas Jayhawks loaded heading into the upcoming season, but a big reason why expectations are so high, because some of the players that haven't even played a real game yet at Allen Fieldhouse. A lot of the big guys on this upcoming KU team, guys like Devon Dotson, David McCormick, and Quentin Grimes, they were all in high school last year, and even though they were all top-ranked recruits, making the transition to the college level, never an easy thing to do. But building a relationship with your coach, that definitely helps a lot with the transition. And Grimes, at least, had the chance to get started on that when he played for self at the FIBA Americas earlier this month.
It was good for Quentin to be around me because he knows now my trigger points a little bit. And then for me to be around him because I know now better how to coach him.
And sticking with Kansas, got to give a shout out to Bishop Carroll's Clay Cundiff. He committed to play football at Kansas this evening.
Well, congrats to him. Elliot, thanks. We'll get you back out to Eureka right after this.
Bosley Tires now with 3 big locations. The biggest in-stock selection and save with the guaranteed lowest price on the top name brands. Brand new tires starting from $19.99. We won't be undersold. Chrome 20s from just $99. Bosley Tires now with 3 big locations.
Why call 2 men in a truck? If you're like Kate, you're moving and you work hard. You've got lots of stuff and no time to move it. You need pros, people who care about it as much as you do. That's why you call 2 men in a truck.
2 men in a truck.
In Kansas, our values run deep. Values that guided me as Secretary of State. Most importantly, I keep my promises. I promised that Kansas would have the most secure elections in the country, with photo ID and proof of citizenship laws. Now the ACLU is attacking me and our laws, seeking to weaken our election security. But I won't back down. As your governor, I won't back down either. I'll stand strong for life, for lower taxes, for the Second Amendment, and for every Kansan.
Look, another beautiful renewal by Anderson Home.
And this month, it's your turn. For a limited time, receive 15% off your entire project.
Plus, the first 50 homeowners to act receive a free upgrade to our Smart Sun Glass. Call Renewal by Anderson today.
You'll have huge savings during the Hatchet Hyundai Summer Sales event. Save up to $5,250 on the road trip ready Hyundai Santa Fe Sport or drive a new Tucson for only $209 a month. Plus a lifetime warranty only at Hatchet Hyundai East and West.
And we do continue to track breaking news at this hour. The town of Eureka in Greenwood County taking a direct hit from a tornado tonight. 5 injuries reported, 1 critical. Let's get you back out there live. Emily Younger in Eureka. Emily, what are you seeing?
That's right, Jeff. 5 injuries, 1 critical. All of them have been taken to the hospital. Meanwhile, rescue crews, search crews are out here searching for any other people that might be in trouble and starting to assess the damage. We're right outside the sheriff's office, and the sheriff's office was hit, part of that building. You can see just tree limbs. I mean, this is the site everywhere, and this is very minimal to what we're seeing. I wanted you to take a look. What we're seeing right now is pitch black, darkness, because power is out here, and that is just making it even more difficult for crews to assess what's happening here. We're told it could take days, it could take weeks before they get a handle on just how much damage was done. What we do know, fire officials tell us the local high school likely took a hit. So did many of the businesses on Main Street, and so did some of the local oil businesses. We'll have a complete coverage for you. And I know that our own Tiffany Lane, she talked to a lot of residents who went through this storm, went down to their basements, and they lost a lot, and they've had a lot of damage too. So I'm going to send it over to Tiffany, who can talk to us about that.
Well, Emily, actually some of those residents have actually made their way here. Now I'm outside of the church where people can take shelter if they need to, and right outside of here we have the American Red Cross. They are out here providing help for these individuals, and what they're doing right now, they told me they're actually pulling out some of those generators because, as we mentioned earlier, the town is without power. And I wanted to speak with one individual here. You have been out here for a few hours now. Can you talk about your efforts, what you guys are doing for these residents right now?
Well, I left Wichita about 8:30, drove through heavy rain all the way down here, and now we're in the process of setting up a generator, try to get lights in here, and we've got another crew coming in to set up a shelter and get everybody registered. Got water for them, and I've got more water on board, and we're just here to help them out.
And it looks like there's a significant amount of people actually in there right now.
I think we got 20 people in there right now. Don't know if they're all staying or not, plus some of us will be staying here tonight. I'm not. I'm going home because I'm going to get another pallet of water and bring back tomorrow.
And how long will you guys be staying out here?
As long as they need us. We was here 2 years ago. We was here 6 days.
And how long are they able to stay out here?
As long as needed. Last year we only had this open one night because small community like this, a lot of them had friends and family that they went and stayed with, so they just stayed here for one night, then they found other places to go. But if they continue to stay, we'll be here for them.
Perfect. And as you mentioned, those generators are going in there. That water can you compare this to a few years ago when the tornado came through then?
From what I seen coming in tonight, it's so dark I can't really tell. But I seen a lot more trees and stuff down what I seen 2 years ago when we came in. So just from what I've seen, I think it might be worse than it was 2 years ago, but I don't know because you can't see because it's dark.
Well, we thank you so much for your efforts out here. And Jeff, I'm going to throw it back to you in studio.
Okay, Tiffany, thank you very much. Now, listen, there are a few things I want to mention. You've been watching our coverage tonight from Eureka. It is dark out there, clearly, because they have no power, no word yet on when they're going to get power restored. The damage, it is significant. We received several pictures earlier today, daylight, from some of the damage in Eureka, and you could see some of the significant damage. If you want to see some of those pictures to get an idea of what they're dealing with out there in Eureka, go to our Facebook page. You can also find a gallery of pictures from Eureka on our website at ksn.com. Not just Eureka tonight, Lisa, I know we're going to get with you in a moment. We received well over 100 photographs tonight of severe weather images, from hailstones to damage from really all across south central Kansas. Still active warnings right now.
It is. For Sedgwick County, we have 2 severe thunderstorm warnings in effect until 11:30, and these storms, they will continue to shift down to the south. They have prompted a new severe thunderstorm warning for Sumner County. That's because winds up to 60, potentially 70 miles per hour will be possible. Also hail up to the size of golf balls. Now that is the way things look. That's our reflectivity display, so it gives you an idea of where the rain is falling, also where the hail is. So it's moving through Clearwater, moving through Viola. Next stop will be Conway Springs. As we take a look here, you can see some of those gustier winds out ahead of it, already approaching the Conway Springs area. That's indicated by red. Anytime we look at this rotation on Doppler radar, we look for the winds that are going away from the Doppler radar site and winds that are coming towards it. And red, that's going to be the winds that are moving away. And the Doppler radar site is located on the west side of town, just off of Tyler. Those of you that are familiar with Eisenhower National, it's pretty close to the airport there. This is also another indication of rotation. Still seeing some signs near the Viola area. No tornado warnings have been put into effect, but the storm has had a history of producing wall clouds and funnels, none of which have touched down. Plus, they've also been having a path of hail that you can see here that goes from Garden Plain and Goddard all the way down to the south. Even earlier, we had a report of tennis ball size hail over toward the Mays area, and that white that's jumping out on your screen right now, that is where we have some of the largest hail. I wouldn't be surprised if it's a little bit larger than golf balls. So folks in the Viola area, be prepared for that. Also expecting some of that hail over toward the Clearwater area as well. Here's a live look with our Wichita sky view looking off to the northwest. Not seeing as much heavy rain here in the downtown area, seeing as the storm is now moving away. Jeff, I do see things continuing to stay active with warnings at least a little past the midnight hour, because these storms, they still are traveling to the south, but they should be weakening after midnight. It's just going to take some time. We have a tropical atmosphere out there right now, and earlier today, a lot of people are saying, why were you talking about storms earlier today? Well, the storms we have now are because of those storms. When the storms moved through Hayes, Great Bend, they blasted through the Wichita area. They actually pushed out what we call an outflow boundary, and because of that boundary, new storms developed tonight, and any place along that boundary was definitely a go for tornadoes to develop. As we always say in the weather department, outflow boundaries love tornadoes.
Okay,
and that is exactly what happened.
As you were speaking there, I just got word that the governor of Kansas, Governor Jeff Collier, has just issued a few moments ago a state of disaster declaration for Greenwood County, a local emergency in the town of Eureka. To recap, before we wrap this up for you, our newscast here, 5 injuries, 1 critical after that tornado swept through town. Several structures have been damaged. We heard from our crews on the scene that emergency officials are going block by block, searching for folks. And one of the things that came out tonight, we heard they just wrapped up cleaning up just 2 years ago from a tornado. So that's really but they know how to do it. It's a resilient town, the folks in Eureka, and they'll get it done. And we'll continue to follow the developments coming out of that town tonight, and of course tomorrow morning, Kansas Today. Our team will be there. That starts at 4:30. We're going to wrap it up for now. We're going to continue to monitor the weather situation and bring you the latest from Eureka on air, online, and on our Facebook page. Thank you for watching.